present Faith Church started off in a rented flat on the 3rd of April 1969. It started from the outset with a strong drive for evangelism. This resulted in many souls coming to the Lord. The Lord showered His blessings on the meetings. The labors of the brethren burgeoned into flowery fruits of strong believers. The rented place soon became very small because of the spiritual activities like revival meetings, youth and children meetings. An urgent need arose. A bigger place would have to be provided. Prayers were offered unto the Lord for a bigger place. Prayer possessed the land. It was, however, a Herculean task in those days to get approval for a church building. God again proved that the king's heart is still in his hands. He answered by touching the heart of then President Anwar Sadat. He personally signed the document for the permission to build the church. The worship was held under a temporary building of asbestos and wood. The worship during this time took about 9 years under the tent. Despite the inconvenience, hundreds of souls came to know the Lord. Showers of blessings covered us, and the Lord blessed us with a great revival in those days. Then came the time to build the church. The church moved to the social center, which have been built and finished in 1982. A floor was prepared for worshiping within the social center for 2 years. 1987 was the year of the dedication of the present church. At last, the church building was in its place. It has 5 floors. The sanctuary and the gallery are used for the general meetings every Sunday morning and evening and Wednesday evening. They are also used for the Sunday school and children activities. The basement is used for different youth and teenagers meetings. The 4th floor is adaptable to training activities of leaders and prayer meetings. It also accommodates the counseling office, administration office, studio, and the library. The 5th floor serves as the recreation venue for the youth activities and wedding parties. On 1975, a parcel of land was purchased adjacent to the church after permission for the church was given. On this land now sits the social center. There are 6 floors at the center. The basement is slated for literacy programs and social activities like knitting and sewing, computer courses, English courses, tutoring classes, and typing. The 1st floor occupies the kindergarten, as we have a tremendous growth of the social work. The kindergarten has over 100 children and many teachers are helping in the education matters. The 2nd floor occupies the pastors and the administration's offices. The 3rd floor houses the pastor and his family, while the 4th floor is the guest house. The 5th floor accommodates the Bible college students. The challenge of communities without churches necessitated the church planting endeavors. There were areas within the Greater Cairo that were peopled with hungry Christians without churches. Faith Church has to respond to the Macedonian calls from these neighborhoods with planting of new churches. Madinat al-Nur, to which some of the members of Meidan Victoria Faith Church moved to. It was necessary to take care of their spiritual needs. A place was rented and permission was sought from the government to start a religious society, which is called Faith Evangelical Society. This was started in 1984. About 200 souls have come to know the Lord here and are presently fellowshipping in this church. There are 3 general meetings in this location weekly. The location holds weekly women meeting, youth and children meetings, besides some activities. Brother Wagdi Lutfi pastors this church in collaboration with other brethren. The Lord helped us to reach another community called التواصل in الهرم. One of the brethren in the area opened his home in order to start the meeting here. As the number grew, the meeting was moved to a rented flat. When the owner decided to sell the entire building, the church bought it and an additional 2 floors were built. Later, permission was sought from the government to start worship in the building. Brothers Samir and Rifat Basali pioneered the church as leaders. An opportunity for the purchase of a parcel of land besides the church came up. The Lord provided funds to buy it. That parcel is now being used for the church, where we have 4 general meetings held weekly in the church. Other spiritual activities include women's meeting, youth meeting, Bible study, and leaders training, children meetings and activities which are fruitful and blessing. The old building is now used for social activities as kindergarten, as we have a tremendous growth of it. There are over 150 children in the kindergarten and there are many teachers at hand to help. Brother Samir William and his wife are successfully holding the pastoral reins of this church. On the way of Cairo-Suez Desert Road, another area called El Haggana village, at which an opening for a new church crept in. A parcel of land was bought and the government permission was got for a building. Concerted evangelistic visits were made in the area, which resulted in many people giving their lives to the Lord. There are 4 weekly meetings there presently. Women, youth, and children's meetings hold every week in this church. In view of the poor condition of living in this community, the church has purchased another parcel of land on which a social center is built. This serves as the kindergarten, clinic, and remedial classes for the needy and the handicapped. Pastor Magdi Abdelkarim serves as the pastor in this church. A very poor, unchurched community of about 90% Christians called Azbat al-Nakhl is an economically disadvantaged area about 15 kilometers outside Cairo. Someone was led of the Lord to give a 1-floor apartment to the church. 4 more floors were built for the use of the church. The church holds a general meeting every night. In addition to these meetings are the youth, women, and children meetings held every week. The work here started in 2001. The church has gained additional 36 souls at its first anniversary. Pastor Aliazar Rojdi is the pioneering pastor of this church. Bahtim, which is a community, belongs to Al-Ubayya province outside Greater Cairo, where we started meetings in the flats of the members who moved into this new area. The brethren met in these houses for about 3 years. 2 floors of a building were rented. Permission was given by the government to start a church there. The work there includes general meetings, youth meetings, women meeting, and leaders training, besides Sunday school are 2 times per week. Brother Karmi Zecher pastors the church. A basically industrial community with a teeming population of laborers called Al-Wahda Al-Arabiyya, located in Al-Ubayya province, where there are no churches at all in this area. So one of the members of the church gave a hall for free for church use. Permission was given by the government to start a worship and social center in the location. There are weekly women's meeting, youth meeting, and Sunday school for children, apart from the general weekly meetings. Brother Rifat Basali pastors the church. There were some church members that moved into an area called Ibn al-Hakam, which is in Al-Ubayya province also. The church saw that it was so necessary to take care of their spiritual needs, as there is no churches at all in this location. A flat of about 165 square meters were purchased to start a worship and social center, and the government gave us the permission. There are 3 general meetings there weekly. Also, youth meetings and Sunday school hold every week in the location. This location has a tremendous growth of social work. There are over 40 children in the kindergarten, and there are many teachers at hand to help. The church was started 2 years ago. 19 people had accepted the Lord so far. Brother Sami Adli and his wife Naama are helping in the work. The City of Peace was built to commemorate the Egypt's accord with the nation of Israel during the regime of President Anwar al-Sadat. Many Christians who moved into this new neighborhood advocated for a church, since there were no churches there then. A building which was used as a factory was bought. Changes were made in the building, and permission got from the government to start to worship in the building. Today, there are 3 general meetings holding every week in this church. There is also youth meeting, and the children's Sunday school hold weekly. Brother Zachariah Seliman pastors the church. The newest church we opened is Malawi, which is situated in the Elmenia province. It is about 350 kilometers south of Cairo in Upper Egypt. Malawi is a fast-growing community with many Christians without commensurate number of churches. The brethren's hunger for worship led the church in Cairo to assist in the purchase of a building consisting of 4 floors, and government permission was sought and given to start worship there. This location is one of the fastest growing churches in the community. Pastor Elisha Maurice leads the group of the brethren here in the work of the Lord. The drive for more churches for the unchurched people is still uppermost in the heart of the leadership of the church. Efforts are being geared towards starting work in 3 new locations. One is at Mu'attam in Greater Cairo. Another is at Ma'sara, where there are many Christians with neither spiritual nor social work going on. And lastly is Manhari in Elmenia province, with tumultuous population yet unchurched. Beit al-Iman is the camp building in Al-Agami, located in the Alexandria province. The inaugural camp meeting was held in this building in 1987. Ever since, there have been summer camps for the churches in the Faith Conference and other denominations. Children, youth, family leadership, and prayer conferences have been held in this building. The year 2001 was a momentous year in the history of the camp building. Unprecedented 1,600 leaders cutting across the whole nation of Egypt from all denominations and organizations, and from other 14 countries all over the world conglomerated in this building for a week-long leadership training. There were strong sermons from different international famous preachers and 12 workshops every day. The Lord blessed His people greatly in this conference. The centrality of prayer in all spiritual work is undeniable. As a result of this, the leadership of the church came out with a vision for a prayer mountain. This is to be a village that will sit a conference center of about 3,000 participants. Within it is envisioned a training center, handicapped home, old people's home geriatric center, and an orphanage. Above all, the center is to serve as a serene place for those who desire to seek the face of the Lord. An 85-acre plot had been purchased for this purpose. It is along Cairo-Alexandria Desert Road. Concerted prayers are being solicited from all brethren for the successful completion of the prayer mountain and the church planting efforts. And now, we can say with Samuel the prophet, "Thus far the Lord has helped us." We ask your prayers that the work of the Lord will continue successfully till the Lord Jesus comes again.